Hi everyone, this is Muhammad Amin. Today I want to talk about the activity theory, which I think one of the interesting subject we already took in this course, because I think it starts like to explain the project or the system or the experiment from different perspective. So what is the activity theory? The activity is a complex framework focus of understanding the individual of human and the social. Actually, that's what make it special. We'll go through this later. So, what the activity theory used for? Actually, it's used for to analyze things like what we mentioned, the human and the social. Actually, I found some article defined also like it's try to analyze the interaction between the human and the goal. Sorry, the intersection between the human and the goals through the tools they are the human using to reach to the goals. So the activity theory actually have 6 components, 7 with the outcomes. We'll go through each one of this component and try to explain it. Okay, first one, subject. What's the subject? Subject is the person or the group that involved. Let's say right now it's experiment that involved in this experiment. Second component is the goal. The goal from this activity. So the second component is the object. So what is the object? The goal of this activity, like what I want to get by the end. Second one is the tool. So in this experiment, for let's say we want to use tool to do something to accomplish the task, to get the goal by the end. So that could be include the book, that could be an instrument, could be like anything that I use it to reach to that goal. Fourth component, it's the rules. So perhaps let's say, okay, you can use this application to do things, but what's the rules? Okay, you can do this thing, but you cannot do this thing. So all the rules, all the regulation, it must be followed by who? By the subject. Also, we have the community, the participation in this experiment, the people who are involved in somehow to with the subject for sure and object. Division of labor. What I have to do to make this system work, what I have to do to interact with the application, what I have to do to get this goal. So I have like a couple of thoughts I think about this. For example, right now in this situation with the pandemic, all of us right now, like at least suffering from this condition, but in the coming weeks, we'll go back to school. So perhaps if I have application that each student will come to Iowa State University, must download it. Why? So we can know if you want to go to the class in person. Let's say in worst cases, like you have symptoms for about anything, we can know who did you interact with, who did you talk with, who did you do anything with. So any case, like in the future, someone like let's say have any symptoms, we can like follow back all the people you interact with. Okay, let's start from the beginning. I have the subject, as I mentioned, the 6 component. Who is the subject? The student. Okay, let's go to the second component. What is the second component? My second component is the run application that trace all your move, like for the last, let's say for 15 days or 14 days. So this is the object. Just run this application so we can know if there is anything go wrong. We can follow back who did you interact with, what you did for the last couple of days. Second thing, what are the tools? The tools is the application. The application you are using it, whatever it was, Android, it was iOS, Windows, whatever. So let's say anyone wanna go to classes, in-person classes, he must have a smartphone with this application. The rules: you must make this application run all the time. Why? Because if there is anything go wrong, we can know. We have to know. So community, let's say it's AIMS community, especially the student and the faculty. Last component, the vision of labor, how this system work. Should be like easy, nothing not much to do, just like make it run, that's it. So what makes the active theory special? It's not about the factor. So instead of like we have another theory, for example, you study the student, but like or the system, but what about the other factor? You cannot isolate the student from the environment around it. So it's like it's surrounded with all the other factors. So what makes it special? The active theory study each factor individually. So I want to show you something. For example, in our cases, let's say we have the subject. What is the subject here? The student. How the student can interact, for example, with the community. How the student interact with the object. Same thing. I can say it about the community, how to interact with the tools. For example, each one of this community must have same application, must run, for example, the Bluetooth, and how that interact with the application. So same thing go with the rules, like each one like must have the application run all the time. How this kind of rules help the object? Do you think it could be like a good things or like bad things? So sorry for this. So it's hard to say any one of these factors the crucial one, the most important one. It's the interaction between this kind of factor. And as I said, this is what make activity theory like have advantages, make it special, because I study like everything around this experiment or study or whatever. So guys, I think yeah, that's all. I might be have another example about the Lumonic, the Lumonic company. We took it like last week about the company applying some of their tools that make the glasses like a display screen. I highly recommend it for Ford company, the cars company Ford. Why? According, I think Ford is the only company in the, at least right now in this era, using the keypad. So if you do not have a key, you can just tap your special number or the password for the car and it will just open. So we can upgrade this system. What they are doing to like use the like for example, instead of we have like keypad physical, we can move it to the windows of the car, the glass. I think that could be like super useful, especially if we can add something new to this technology, like we can use instead of the password or the ID, just the fingerprint. I think that will be super useful, especially if like I can get another thing. So if we want to apply it to our example here, the activity theory, we can subject the owner of the car, the object is like enter the car, or symbol enter the car, the tools, the Luminic technology. So instead of using the keypad, the physical one, so still physical, use the other one on the glass. The rules, what the rules? Like must be used by owner of the cars, the community, anyone can involve, like any relative or like co-worker with the owner of the car, the division of labor, how it's gonna work, how we can use it. It's like just pop up to my mind right now. But I think it could be a good idea, especially for Ford, because the only company they are using this kind of technology until now. So thank you guys.